Okay, welcome. So yeah, what are we going to be looking at today? There's going to be a few wee things that I want to look at with the new tune that's come up. As you guys, anyone who's seen this channel a few times or seen this stream a few times will know that I've asked Olivia Barrett, a professional violin fiddle player, who's actually got lessons, guys. At the moment, I only found that out today when I went onto her Facebook that she's opening up for students, I think, coming into the spring and summer. So if you're interested in learning, especially I think remotely, unless you live nearby in Canada, I think she's in British Columbia. So unless you live nearby, you probably have to do it all online, which would be great. I wish I could do it. So if you are interested in fiddle lessons, definitely go over, check out her Facebook. She's actually given me permission as well to use her reels on Facebook as like sort of backing. Well, I'm backing up what she's trying to back up what she's doing. So she's very kindly sort of given permission for that. So we're going to be looking at one today, which is a great tune. I think I heard Dervish play this. House of Hamill is the name of the reel. So we're going to get stuck into that in a second. As soon as I can share my screen again. Okay, hopefully you guys can see on my screen. Okie doke. Let's see if we can bring up today's stuff. Let me see. It would be an instrumental. It would be in Bouzouki. It would be practice with me. It would be today's stuff. And this is all today's stuff. Okay. Is it just me, or is the text getting smaller? Or am I getting older? I'm not being able to read my own files anymore. Okay. Yeah, we'll bring up the Muse score. We'll bring up the... Yeah, we'll bring up everything. That's the audio, that's Muse score, and the video. Same old, same old. Okay, so let's have a wee listen just to Olivia actually playing it, so you get a proper sound before I get stuck into it. Okay, so if I can just minimize this, get all the other distractions out of the way. Make that full screen. Okay, here we go. Here's the tune. An Ed Reevy tune, very well known American fiddle player. Well, Irish-American fiddle player. So here we go, great tune. Find the tonic. Yeah, so it's a great tune, isn't it? And also great variation or version, I should say, great version she plays there. This is an unusual tune, especially for me as a sort of whistle, flute, and uilleann piper and bouzouki player. That it's, first of all, structurally it's a bit unusual. Tonally, it's a bit unusual, and also structurally, tonally, and also internally, it's a bit unusual what happens to the piece. There's a couple of wee interesting there's a key change in it that's not the usual that you would expect out of Irish traditional music. So there's a lot of interesting stuff to explore in this tune, and the fact that it's a great tune, like that's the main thing. It's a great tune. Okay, so let's just minimize Olivia for a wee sec, and we'll just bring up her audio. You could probably hear me going doo, as usual, trying to find the tonic. I think this is the original recording. If I get rid of the inspector for a wee second and Can I make this big without my big head getting in the way? Oh, that'll do actually, won't it? Yeah. Okay. Let's have a wee listen just to the A section. And just let me check my levels just to see is that coming through. Listen just to the A section. Let me check my levels just to see is that coming through. Listen just to the A section. Yep, I think you guys can hear my Bouzouki too. Let me have a look at my levels. Where's my Bouzouki? Yep. So the first thing that we always do, guys, when you're listening to a piece is, of course, try and find the key. You need to find that tonic first before you do anything. So the way that I do that, it's not very scientific. It's just humming the tonic or the main note that all the tune seems to center around. If you think of it like the sun and all the other notes of the scale, or like the other planets, they all go around, you know, the central point, which is that tonic note, that So we need to find where that is. I think actually was what it was. So if we just listen to that opening again. So it's not D. It's not D sharp. Not E. There we go. I think we find it. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that's where we put our capo. We're going to be putting our capo on the 3rd fret, which is a wee bit unusual for standard trad tuning. You know, usually it's capo on 2, which is probably where we're going to be putting it. Let me just double check to see, did I say semitone lower or higher in my recordings? I think it's semitone lower. Yeah, so we are going to push all of this down into capo on 2, but we're just going to keep it capo on 3, which is where Olivia's tuning it. And as usual, I find that the versatility of fiddle players especially is really, really good for a lot of the tunes that I want to play in those keys, but you don't really get the opportunity in sessions because, you know, it would mean that whistles and flutes and accordions, concertinas, anything with sort of fixed tuning tends to be sort of isolated and left out if we can't stick to the normal capo on 2, capo on 5, capo on 7. Those tend to be the only three, and you'll notice that in these strings over time. You'll find that these are relatively new strings that have been on a few weeks, and as time goes on, you'll actually see these strings begin to wear and tear on those particular frets, because that's where the capo is going to most frequently go. So that's why another reason why I like moving somewhere else is because it keeps me on my toes as well, having to know where everything is now. So this will be interesting. I know this tune from listening to it. I think it's was it Dervish who played it, or was it Solus? I think it was Dervish. I think it's Dervish I originally heard this from. And yeah, I actually don't know how to play it, you know, on the whistle. So this will be interesting for me. Able to do that. Let me see. That's a wee listen. We go from here to the end.